students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about a recent news coming from Myanmar, the neighboring country of India, where Myanmar's military leader has thanked Donald Trump to giving him recognition, to giving his regime recognition as such. And this has come after Donald Trump sent a tariff letter to the Myanmar's military leader. So let us try to understand this topic in the entire detail. So first of all, Myanmar's military leader has lauded Donald Trump and also has requested him to lift the sanctions that were imposed by the earlier US administration because of the coup in which Myanmar's military has presented. It has removed the civilian government, toppled the civilian government, arrested all the civilian leaders, and since last 4 or 5 years, it is the military who is de facto ruler of Myanmar as such. Now, the military leader here is called Min Aung Hlaing, and Min Aung Hlaing also, to woo Donald Trump, we can say, he has supported or lended the endorsement to the Trump's claim that 2020 US elections, if you remember, then in January 6th, there was a kind of insurrection where a lot of Trump supporters have attacked US Capitol, as you can see from this particular image, because they believe that Donald Trump actually was the winner of election and Joe Biden did not win election, but election was stolen from the Donald Trump as such. So this was the conspiracy theory, basically you can say, that was propagated by Donald Trump, his supporters and all that, and this is a kind of endorsement that Min Aung Hlaing has also given to. Also, he has thanked him for shutting down funding to US-backed media houses that were covering Myanmar's what you can call as situation in Myanmar as such, the civil war-like situation that has developed in the aftermath of coup and all such. So that is how the entire situation has unfolded. Now, if you look at Myanmar first geographically, it is a country situated in South Asia. Myanmar, as you can see, shares a huge border with the northeastern states, right from the Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland. Then you have Manipur and Mizoram. These 4 states share more than 95% of their border with Myanmar as such. Similarly, in the southern side, it has a small border with the Bangladesh, and from the eastern side, it is bound by China, Laos, and Thailand such. Myanmar, as we can understand, it is opening to the Bay of Bengal. It has a huge coastline, as you can see from this particular map, opening to the Bay of Bengal, and it has a lot of notable and important port as such. So that is why Myanmar is very, very critical for India also. Now, if you look at the earlier US stance till the tariff letter was sent by Donald Trump, US State Department has put a sanction on the chief of military junta, that is Min Aung Hlaing. We have discussed about. The reason was because after participation in the coup d'etat, basically we have seen a civil war-like situation developing in Myanmar, where very People's Defense Forces, we can say, you have the armed militia supported by a large number of citizens of Myanmar, began to charge or began to attack the Myanmar's military generals and Myanmar's military outposts as such. And because of this, Myanmar's government, military government, has what you can call as a very brutal crackdown and repression kind of stance against the citizens, and they have used violence and terror to oppress the Burmese people. Not only that, US government believes that they have denied the citizens of Myanmar the right to choose and freely choose their own leaders, and that is why US diplomats not formally engaged with junta. This was the situation since 2021 till now. Now, what has changed? Let us try to understand this, but before this, I would want to bring your attention to the fact that at the Legacy IAS Academy, we are going to commence new batches soon on the 9th of August and 11th of August. These are going to be weekday and weekend batches, and we believe that for preparation of civil service examination, you need to have a comprehensive coverage of GS1 to GS4, all the 4 papers. We also ensure coverage of the essay papers, and we believe that many times students get deviated from the path, they do not understand what is the correct strategy to follow, and also they get confused in the mid course of their preparation or journey as such. And that is why we believe that their role of mentorship, our mentors can play a significant role in ensuring that students understand that what strategy, what path they have to adopt. Also, we ensure that there is regular interaction with educators in the class, and to ensure that this interaction is to the maximum level, it has a fruitful yield. We believe that maximum students per batch, we have a policy of maximum students, 40 students per batch only. And also we ensure that the examination of UPSC preparation cannot be done in silo-like approach, that prelims, mains, interview after. It should be done in an integrated manner right from the start. And one major role that can play in students' life in ensuring their maximum success in examination in the daily mains answer writing practice, and that is what also we ensure here. Now, we also have test series both for prelims and mains right from the start, so students can gauge where do they stand in the preparation. They can understand their strengths and weaknesses and work according to the feedback they receive based on from the test as well. And also, as you know, that current affairs can be a critical factor in ensuring success or what we can call as in the prelims examination as well as in the mains examination. So that is why we have 360 of coverage for current affairs as well. If you want to know more about this program, the features of the course and all, you can give a call at the number given here, or you can click the link in the description box of this particular video. Now we have discussed that earlier US State Department was not or has not formally recognized Myanmar's military junta as the ruler or as the what you can call as the government of Myanmar. But this seems to have changed because Trump directly has sent a letter personally addressed to Min Aung Hlaing, the Myanmar's military junta chief as such. In this letter, he has stated that US, as we know, that Trump has unleashed a tariff war across all the countries and one of these countries are Myanmar as well. So he has said that he would impose 40% tariff on every goods being imported from the Myanmar to United States as such, and this is 4% less than what he has threatened in his earlier speeches, that was 44%. And because of this speech, because of this letter that is directly being addressed to the Myanmar's military junta, many experts argue that this seems to be the first indication coming from United States that they have acknowledged Min Aung Hlaing and the military junta as the ruler of Myanmar as such. Now, obviously, Min Aung Hlaing was very happy because of this letter, and he has seized the opportunity to respond further by publishing multi-page letter himself that is released in both local languages, that is Burmese as well as English, targeting the international audience. In this particular letter, he has sincerely appreciated letter sent by Trump, and he has praised US President for strong leadership in guiding country, that is United States, toward national prosperity. So this we can understand is nothing but a way of wooing Donald Trump, appealing to Donald Trump, and he believed that by such kind of gesture, he might ensure that US would lift sanctions, US would even reduce the tariff on the Myanmar, and Myanmar's government can further get the credentials of being a de facto ruler, or we can say the credible ruler of the country as such. He also has sought to justify military seize of power. He has said that it is not that military has seized power in an illegal manner, rather he has blamed that it was the civilian government who has stolen the elections, and he has resonated it with the same situation that Donald Trump has claimed that he has faced in year 2020. So that is why you can understand he has written similar kind of statement that similar to the challenges you encountered during the 2020 elections of the US, Myanmar also experienced major electoral fraud and significant irregularity. So Myanmar's military junta did not or never said that they are doing this coup or they are removing civilian government because of some other reason. They said that it is because the elections were held. There were a lot of frauds that took place in elections, and that is why the civilian government was not who actually won the elections. So in 2022 was when the coup was conducted. By that time, you have a government party in Myanmar called as Union Solidarity and Development National League for Democracy, and the leader of National League for Democracy was Aung San Suu Kyi, who also is a Nobel Prize winner. So she was arrested, and all her entire top party leaders were arrested. They were put under house arrest. And then the Union Solidarity and Development Party, this is basically a party led by Myanmar's military called as Tatmadaw. Also, they took control of the entire country, and all leaders and other parties also, their activists were put under house arrest. Now, because of this, as a response, National Unity Government was formed, where all the political parties who were against military rule, they began to declare a war on the military junta, and they formed an armed rebellion group called as People's Defense Forces. The photograph of People's Defense Forces you can see from here. And because of this, there has been continuous tussle, there has been continuous attacks and counter-attacks between the Myanmar's military junta and the People's Defense Forces. And it is believed by an independent report that over more than 50,000 people have been killed in last 4 years as a result of the military operation, air raids and attacks carried out by military government. And this people who are killed are none but the Myanmarese civilian people themselves. Now, if you try to understand, Myanmar is a very diverse country, but the largest percentage of Myanmar's population is made up of ethnic group called as Bamar. They make up 68% of the population. Then you have San, that is the second group. Then you have Karen, Rakhine, Chinese, Mon, and 2% of Indians who were taken during by the British to work in the plantation and the agricultural fields as such. So, because of such a heterogeneous kind of ethnic groups that you have in Myanmar, each of these ethnic groups or many of these ethnic groups have formed their own rebel groups themselves, own rebel army itself, and the most successful rebel army out of these have been Rakhine Rebel Army, which are referred by name of Arakan Army. Arakan is the name of region where Rakhine group resides in the Myanmar, in the coastal areas of Myanmar. The leader of this particular army is Tuan Mrak Naing, and this army has been very successful in ensuring the defeat of Myanmar's military junta from the coastal Rakhine state as such. The Myanmar's Arakan Army can be considered as the military wing of ethnic Rakhine community, as we have discussed. The army has sought shelter with the Kachin Independence Army in the northern Myanmar earlier. So 2019, they formed a ceasefire. They basically has signed a ceasefire deal with the civilian government. If you remember, I told you that you have the government led by Aung San Suu Kyi, but after the coup, this ceasefire broke down, and again they have participated in the civil war like situation. Now their control here can be seen here. This entire region that you can see in the coastal area of Myanmar is the Rakhine state. It is having border with the Cox's Bazar district of Bangladesh, and that is where they have controlled or taken control of large territory, major township and the ports as such. And here we can understand Myanmar's military junta has been defeated to a great extent as such. Now, what is the concern of India in this particular regard? India has formulated a very ambitious project to connect the eastern part of India to the northeastern part of India through the Myanmar as such. And this is called as Kaladan Multi-Model Project, because earlier it is believed that from Kolkata port a ship can reach Sitwe port. Now interestingly, Sitwe port currently is under the control of Arakan Army as such. From Sitepur, you have the river transportation called as Kaladan River up to Paletwa. From Paletwa up to Jorinpui, you will have the highways, and from Jorinpui further to Aizawl, that is capital of Mizoram, you will have the highway of 100 kilometers, and from Aizawl then further connectivity to the other northeastern states can be ensured. Now the entire fate of this Kaladan multi-model project depends on the situation prevailing in Myanmar, because unless and until government controls, a single government controls the entire Myanmar territory, unless and until civil war ceases, there will be huge implications on this project. We cannot assure that there will be successful completion or use of this particular multimodal transportation as such. This is the biggest concern that India has, and for this region it is important that a situation of peace and prosperity prevails in Myanmar. Otherwise, due to the civil war like situation prevailing in Myanmar, we also see this situation is being used by the armed insurgent groups of northeastern India to threaten the unity, sovereignty and security of India as such. That is all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.